Ready.
Good morning, grasshoppers. The usual stream issues. Twitch does not seem to start for about 5 to 10 minutes in the stream. So we're going to have to see what's going on with this. We're going to play like Anna Zatonskih. Now 3c4 is a good answer. Once you find out your opponent's second move. If you are going to play knight f3, you might as well play knight f3 on move 2. I wonder how much I can bust open the center as it is. That's an interesting attack on my c pawn. Interesting attack on my c pawn. At the same time, he's guarding. At the same time, he's guarding the b2 pawn. Let's just pretend like we were planning this all along. Okay. Now that the b pawn is attacked. His b pawn is only defended by his b2 pawn, by his queen. More coffee, everybody. More coffee. So now, how do we wish to cripple him? See if we can get that one to move. Just trying to take advantage of the awkwardly placed queen. Place your queen and rooks carefully in the opening because they're too valuable to misplace. If you put them on the wrong squares too early, you'll lose time with them or lose time in some other way because of them. I did spend a half an hour this morning watching the final table, final hands, maybe the last 10 hands or so of the World Series of Poker on the final table. I will not reveal the winner, however. I will talk about the final hand. The final hand was interesting because I don't think anyone would call an all-in with third pair a single pair, third pair, at any other stage of the game. And if you've already gotten in trouble with a hand like this before, then it just makes it that much more interesting. So I want to keep his bishop bad, and I do want a protected passed pawn. That doesn't really matter which pawn I capture, except that one allows him to take with the queen. So I imagine that this is the one. I did expect as much. Now I just have to decide how useful my knight will be on the e5 square, and I think it'll be pretty useful. Certainly not going to put my bishop on the e5 square. We're trying to tie down a couple of pieces to the bishop, at least one. Yeah, I thought about that. Not entirely sure where he's going with that one. All right, moment of truth. Do we tag or don't we tag? How do we tag? Unfortunately, I lost a bit of time there, right? And now the queen seems awkwardly placed. My opponent is really, really defensive. How defensive? That is the question. Is this a real double attack? I think not. We're just trying to get there from here. I had a small threat, by the way. From the moment I played bishop d7, bishop c6, the g2 pawn was being attacked. The entry code for the tournaments actually is MCD lowercase. But we really don't want anyone entering just in case, unless there's an accident. One time, I think someone did someone a favor by telling them the entry code, and then they entered for all of the tournaments in advance with using the entry code, which is the purpose of the entry code, to keep people from entering the tournaments in advance and then not showing up. We do need 92 subscribers to our YouTube. It would be lovely. To have 92 subscribers. We're trying to get to what? 100 in order to put the official Master Chess Dojo name on it. Has the stream started? That is the question. We know that we're streaming live on YouTube. Or are we? Are we frozen? My Crowverse. Yeah, I understand completely. Sorry I don't get a chance to check the chat all the time on the YouTube as well as this. I see the fortunate part is that the YouTube chat does appear on the layout, which I'm expanding now. Don't know why I can't adjust the editor window. So I can read that chat better. Let's watch Ron Hay and Better Call Saul. I'm stuck on episode 5 of the latest season for Better Call Saul. Primarily because they want me to pay for it. Can this be won? I have actually won Rook and 3 versus Rook and 3 on the same side of the board before. I honestly do not know how I did it, especially this particular pawn configuration. All you can do is keep tagging weaknesses.
Check.
Looks like the tagging of weaknesses is happening.
Check.
Yakov Agard in the Perpetual Chess podcast, I believe it's number 238, talks about decision making, which is actually priceless. There's Tanya Sachdev, a couple or a few episodes right before Yakov Agard, and of course I'm somewhere around 233. My Perpetual Chess podcast with Ben Johnson, somewhere around 233. Are we going to make some progress? We just need an H pawn. That's all we need. If we can get an H pawn out of the deal, this will be good. It does look like a draw in this particular instance. But is it? What kind of risk are we willing to take in order to win this? If anyone knows me, I am willing to take great risks because I just don't have a draw button in me. The draw button does not exist on my computer. So what is there to do? But try. Fair enough. Now we have a live game. It should still be a draw. even in this particular instance, it should still be a draw. Or is it? We have a couple of good tricks here. Tough call, everybody. Tough call. We definitely have to look him up one time. Just to see what he's up to. Exactly.
Check.
Exactly. We have to look him up one time. Is our king on a safer square than it was before? Time will tell. We have to look him up the other way now. Yes. My Crowverse, where are you from? Thank you for watching. We do need the subscribers. To get to 100. Uh-oh. Moment of truth, everybody. No. I thought he was going to do a slightly different thing. Preparing that move, perhaps. But maybe it'll work out. After all, it should all be a draw.
Check.
Yeah, I thought that move last time. Just in case. You tried to block with the pawn, and then you would get rook a3. With a two-step process to winning the rook, because the checking sequence is still there. And the driving away sequence is still there. So is it becoming too dangerous to try to play for a win? This is what I would now refer to as Magnus Carlsen chess. Trying to get blood out of a stone is never easy. It's unfortunate that both pawns have to fall now. It's almost official. But we can still try, as we do here. The opponent is going to lock it down to a rook and pawn ending.
Check.
Oh, that was the simplest move, ensuring the draw. Is this really happening? I don't know if it's really happening. You cannot win a pawn down and a rook and pawn endings, therefore. Ensuring the opposition. King to g3. And now a demonstration in drawing technique, which we really desperately need. Staying in front of the king until the pawn advances, then you stay in front of the pawn until the king advances, and then you stay in front of the king until the king advances. And then you cannot avoid staying in front of the pawn, staying in front of the king, pawn, king. I wonder if white flags if this one is still a draw according to FIDE standards. After all, because white has a pawn on the board, maybe a mate can be constructed. That is an Ali Reza Magnus Carlsen joke, by the way. Famous position in the World Blitz Championship where Ali Reza believed the game should have ended in a draw, but his pieces could be used against him. Magnus had a lone bishop and won the game with a lone bishop, which was not considered mating material in the United States. But in FIDE, you can construct a mating position with your opponent's pieces against them. So be it. Alright, I told everyone that we were going to be switching over to e4. And it's nice that my opponent plays one of the weakest defenses. Now, I've thought about this opening myself as black. I really have. I have thought about this opening as black. Not this particular one. But this particular one. We have a very strange Panov-Caro-Kann where black has played the very unusual bishop g4 instead of either knight c6, instead of bishop e6, instead of g6, but it isn't a Caro-Kann because black doesn't have an easy way of defending the c7, the b7 pawn with the c7 square. A very strange exchange French. Instead. Alright, do we go for it? I believe we do. Because I do not have a choice, I believe I should go for it. Should I capture? It is very tempting to capture, but I'm just going to keep developing. He's got to get a pawn back sooner or later, right? After all, I have taken two. I have taken two pawns. Am I actually in trouble? That's very much a bummer that I'm actually in trouble. I have to give back all of the pawns, as it turns out. One of those sad, sad situations where you have to give back all of the pawns. Castle's queenside, rook c2, devastation. Castle's queenside, rook takes e2, devastation. Did not plan this out very well.
Check.
Yes. Now, how much trouble can my opponent get into here? Well, that was a good move. Given my propensity for king safety, what can be done now? I mean, black has as good an ending as he could ever want. Almost equal pawns. Very exciting. Very exciting that he has king safety to my non-existent king safety. Wow. Dudovich. I don't know that I have a choice here. Uh-huh. He's got a double check. Such a bummer. Such a bummer that he has a double check. He answers check with check. That is the tricky part. And he has that check as well. So he's totally winning. Absolute and utter destruction. I am toast. It is official. It's only a matter of what kind of toast. We have our choice of rye, whole grain, wheat toast,
check.
It's unfortunate that I didn't even have an option to escape. And again, he has that option. Just toasted.
Beyond infinity and back again. Today. Young dog and attack.
One of those moments where you just go quiet and you hope that the opponent does not see it. Still no Twitch stream. I just realized Sakarenko has some issues. If she's living in Turkey now, so I guess she doesn't have any issues. Adriana. It's only a matter of time before my opponent notices how to beat me. It truly is only a matter of time. Well, that's one way.
Check. It's a draw.
So what my opponent failed to realize is that he has bishop c5, queen a8, check, bishop f8, and I'm still in dire straits. Right? Maybe it's just, there's no way that I'm surviving this. In this particular position, queen to d4, double blunder, right?
Check.
So he's got mate in 3 with bishop c5, queen c8, rook e8, check. I apologize. He always had rook e8. Yeah, what he missed was that he had bishop c5, check. Bishop c5. I failed to mention. I think he was only worried that the bishop had to go back. And he needed the bishop in both directions. That was crazy, but I escaped that one. My Carovers. Thank you, BM47. You need to enter the event. Let me just see if I can bring up the event. Unfortunately, I can't post to the multi-stream chat, but I can try to post the link. You have to join the team. Thank you, buddy. And you've been working really hard every single day. Every single day. What was it today? We got our pieces jumbled up a little bit around our queen placement. That was the tricky part. I'm not a big believer in those closed positions, though. If you're going to beat a stronger player, or if you're going to become a stronger player, you're going to have to learn how to fly. And if you learn how to fly, that is, you're just going to have to let your pieces just go. Can you imagine learning martial arts without ever moving your arms, fully extending your arms? Basically, that is what the difference is between closed positions. Closed positions is like learning wrestling or judo, but learning judo only without ever extending your arms completely. And the open games are a lot like Taekwondo, Kung Fu, and or all of the samurai arts, where you have to make broad swooping movements from one side to the other, down, up. You're going to get full utilization of the diagonals, and you really do have to extend yourself and go beyond yourself in order to be improved. You can't just stay huddled up hoping that no one will do anything where you may be induced to blunder, because blunders are that way. Twitch is not working.
Ready.
So if you click on the streaming in the top left, believe it or not, it opens up the YouTube stream. So I have to admit, it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. That now against Saul, do I really want to push the envelope with the Benko? No. We're going to play normal chess today. We're playing like Zatonskih. Knight f3. This is a Queen's Indian. King's Indian hybrid. This is standard. All this was played out in the 50s by Spassky and Tall and all those guys until Garry Kasparov rejuvenated it. Queen f6 here would be a blunder. We're just going to keep attacking the center until the center cannot be attacked no more, no more, no more, no more. Just keep attacking the center. Alright, so something appears to be wrong at long last. Is that pawn defended? I don't know. We're going to have to do the 300 wins by Spassky. 300 wins. Actually, they upgraded the book. Kaufman and the Chess Stars series did upgrade the book to 300 to 400 wins by Spassky. I have the original 300 wins. I should get the subsequent volume just to see if they've changed any of the annotations. I can't remember if we talked about where you were in Spain, BM. We had FR the other day from Catalonia. Easily my favorite area of Spain, mainly because you're so close to the border with both countries and all of that. San Sebastian. I am... Alright, let's start weakening our opponent's stuff here. Not sure if I appreciate this particular music. Let's just... We're gonna have a massive change of pace here. At least by putting explicit content on. Now this, of course, was my plan. And now for something completely irrelevant. Either way, I get rid of the knight on f3. But do I get rid of the pawn on d6? Yeah, we do. Let's try it. Egads.
Check.
How many pawn breaks does he need? What? Dude. Now, it's true that I don't have a way of winning this particular game that easily. Let's take advantage of the absence of his bishop here. What is he really going to do? We have a smidgen of an initiative over here. So does h4 work? That is the question. Oh, there's no draw here. Why would you think that there's a draw here? You have one rook tied down to a pawn.
Check.
Does look like a certain amount of freedom, I have to admit. Very tempting, because it looks like a certain amount of freedom. We are way overdue for that one, sir. Way overdue. Preventing g4. Or at least trying to prevent g4. Interesting. I'm not really after that, by the way. No, I'm not really after that.
Check.
Whoa. Is he threatening me yet? I think not. But it is scary, I have to admit. It's very scary. I want the rook to take? That is the question. Or do I want the bishop to take? Tough call, right? Mm-hmm. I know this looks really, really good, but is it really winning? How many weaknesses do we need? We do need enough weaknesses. Just enough weaknesses.
Check. Check.
So either way, it looks like we are getting this. Do we check again? I mean, I can repeat the position. But he has to stay on the bishop, right? King f4. Take twice and take on d6. Is that winning? It does look pretty good. Or do we just wait? Well, we don't wait. We have to give one more check. Just to limit what's going on in this position.
Check.
Does he see what I'm up to? I don't think he saw what I was up to.
Check. Check.
There had to be a mating net here somewhere, right?
Victory.
That was tough. Good morning, Ron. Alcante, indeed. I'm sorry to hear that you have a heat wave, though. So I'm at least quite happy that Twitch is picking up the stream. I mean, Streamlabs is picking up the YouTube chat on the, that is awesome. Are we streaming on Twitch yet? No, huh? I should have Googled this yesterday when it was happening, but it did stream on Twitch eventually yesterday. I will upload the video to Twitch.
Ready.
Do have a lesson in short order, unfortunately. So what to do with Ron? I said I was going to play e4. Yesterday we played an interesting French, but I don't think Ron is inherently a French player. I think he's a universal player, but I don't necessarily know that he's a French player. Certainly since we're studying, believe it or not, Move by New Move, Nepomniachtchi. Ugh. You believe we're studying Move by Move, Nepomniachtchi? I'm going to play like Nepo. I'm going to play like MVL. How about that? If you do want a model player with the white pieces, MBL could well be your guy. Well, that's interesting. This is not the line that I was expecting. Ron does know all of the tricks, that much is true. Ron does know all of the tricks. Moment of truth. Both kings are stuck. Stuck in the center. With neither of us able to castle. One of us is missing a dark squared bishop. I won't name any names, but one of us is missing a dark squared bishop. Just an FYI. So is Ron going for some simplification here? He might be. Can I afford to have Is this endgame better for me? It is. But how much better is it? So pawn takes pawn, queen a5. Or do we allow his knights to unravel? Knight takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, knight c6. It's a bummer. I think I have to go for the initiative in this position. Okay. Fair enough. We need both rooks on rook 3. This is how you do it. This is how we do it. Now he's tied down to that pawn. Knight to c4, b4. B takes A4. I need to start clearing the route for my rook to come across. His knight actually has no squares. Buenos no squares. Somehow I'm going to connect my rooks, everybody. I am going to connect my rooks. So, this is a terrible tragedy, I have to admit. B3, Queen B6. BC4. I don't know. Chess. I am giving him squares. But I want to control which direction his knight goes in, don't I? At least I thought I did. Now I'm not entirely positive. Maybe I don't really care what direction his knight goes in.
Check.
This is where Ron usually hornswoggles me. And by that, I mean that he really hornswoggles me. Like, he really gets me here. Wow. Alright, moment of truth, everyone. Being faced with mate, perhaps a worse endgame.
Check.
Does his knight get to go anywhere it chooses? That is the question. Only one way to find out. Does his knight get to go anywhere it pleases? It does if I'm not careful. He certainly has the better of this. That much is for certain. Ron is the better player with his Norse mentality. His Scandinavian Viking mentality, he is the better player. So is this a threat? Or is it not? Told me once, but I forgot. So what does he have, really? You can go after my pawn. You can go after my bishop. Mm-hmm.
Check.
Arg! I got hornswoggled. Or did I? Maybe. Maybe I got hornswoggled. Maybe I still have the better minor piece. Ah! Ron, you're so mean. As well you should be. So was Rook H2 the better move? Still don't think Rook H2 is the better move. I think I was just in a terrible position. I was just in an absolutely horrid position. Wasn't that interesting?
Time is running out.
This is like one of those mates where everything might be preordained. There's no guaranteeing it. Ron is always so kind. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, you didn't get a pairing at ZZE because ZZZZ. You didn't get a pairing because you're the lowest rated player with an odd number. So now for something completely different. Is allowing that bishop in going to help? I don't know. Chess. So you're saying that I'm not getting out of this mess so easily? Is that what you're saying, Ron? Very annoying of you.
Check.
I am dead lost. Can I step out? Can I do this?
You lose.
I'm not gonna let Ron get into a position. Oh man, what an end game. Good game, Ron. Very impressive. How can you join? I don't know if you can join past round 5, so you have to get in now. Hold on here.
Ready.
I'll give you the link to the address, and I will let you join after this round, because just Rajasthani. I have to do a little bit of orchestrating to be able to extend the tournament. I'm going to extend the tournament so that you can get in. Please let me know when you get in. It is only 9 rounds, but you cannot get in past the halfway mark.
Time is running out.
So at the end of this round, I'm going to bring it back down to 9 rounds. X63, good morning. Alright, I'm going back to this route now. I've played 3 different openings, so my plan is to play 3 different openings as black against D4 and C4. C4 is actually a surprise move. Like, who plays C4 on the second move? People don't know how to play chess anymore. They play the London. That's a whole different game. So this is the Catalan. Or is it? Now we're back into a Caro-Kann with G3. What is up with that? Do we get the hanging pawns and everything? Gonna keep undermining those pawns. The hanging pawns in the center. We have not yet done our study stream completely on the hanging pawns. It could well be worth it to do our study stream on the hanging pawns. Wow. Just fighting for the center, fighting for the center, fighting for the center. You can never stop cancer screenings. There's no clarity on when to stop cancer screenings. What is up with that? Is that really a thing? Stopping cancer screenings. Come on. I don't think that's really a thing. This position is dead equal. Nothing we can do about it. Whoa. Totally unexpected. I may have to give back the exchange. I may have to give back the exchange here. I don't know if I want to get back the 2 bishops. I do not know. If I want to give back the 2 bishops, but we have to start somewhere. Just a lot of action taking place, folks. Dark squared bishop. Oh, you played that move. That's a shocker. You gods. Was bishop c2 the right move? I do not know. But do I give back the exchange and just accept equality? Is there a tactic in here that I don't see? Alright. We're gonna have to live with being down a pawn. I expected him to actually keep the knight. To be perfectly honest. But it's working. Yeah. So, are you really going to... Huh. The bummer. A very strong c-pawn. Alright, so the moment of truth. I may lose this game to x63, as well I should. But I'm going for the Gegenspielen.
I miss the family I used to have. I feel like everything's so different now. Sitting by the fire as we'd watch the flames burn out. I miss the days I wasn't afraid. Now I always have my guard up, hands on my face. I learned to cope with the pain. I know that people think I'm trying to get attention, but in reality I'm trying to send a message. I know there's kids out there that
Weak point F2, A2, H2, F3 is not a weakness, but I'm hoping to make it a weakness. C4 pawn isn't moving anywhere.
wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life.
We will see.
Ruined my life, and I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda
Whoa.
you hurt me and ruined my life.
First things first, everybody. Bishop d4 could have been a better move, but we'll determine that one later.
I lost a couple friends,
So I have to give back the exchange?
couple L's, but that's just normal talk.
Possibly.
Couple pills, but they don't do much, and now I take Prozac in the morning with some other stuff. But why did I get into this? I feel like this is all a dream, but when I wake up, look around, this isn't even make believe. So I sit in a corner thinking back to all the memories. I grew up with these fake beliefs, by the time I find a remedy. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life.
This is really a depressing song, isn't it? Isn't this a depressing song? I'm telling you. Actually, you don't have to tell me. I don't have a draw button, so if you are watching, you're gonna have to do it. I do not have a draw button. My draw button does not work. I have turned off all draws. I'll let you see it. It does nothing. The draw button does not work on my computer. At all. So it's not like I'm playing on purpose. I'm just not able, not physically able to offer a draw.
It's a draw.
Good game, X63. Tried my best to liven that game up. Magnus Carlsen style has pervaded everyone. It really has. Highways. Not bad. Normally I would have lost 3 games by now. I'm gonna Google Twit's not working.
right now I'm actually connected to my YouTube account.
Hold on there, I need to hear this video, everybody. So we're gonna pause the music temporarily.
I'm just gonna log out. Yes. I'm gonna go back to Twitch, log back in, click on Twitch, and just fill in my things that I need to fill in. Now I am finally logged back in. So what you want to make sure, guys, is that the account on the Streamlabs application has to be the same with your Streamlabs website. So once you log in into your website over here, so let's go over here, you want to make sure that the website and Streamlabs is the same. So you just want to log out if you're connected with something else, like your YouTube account or another Twitch account that you have. Log out and just log back in with the account that you need on Streamlabs OBS application. So this is what you can try out. And if you're already logged in, guys, what I suggest you guys to do is you want to go ahead and log back out.
Of Streamlabs.
That could actually fix the problem.
Can't do this while streaming.
What you also can try out is you can go to General and go to Delete Cache and Restart. So once you click on here, it says warning, you will lose all of your stream encounter settings. But for the rest,
okay, we've got it. Can't do it while we're streaming though. Cannot do that while we are streaming. That will be bad. Right? So, no, what I did realize is that my Master Chess Dojo YouTube name is the same. Now, remember, this has only happened since I managed to change my YouTube name to Master Chess Dojo instead of Master Chess _NM. And we do need those subscribers on YouTube. All right, did RJA get in? Let me go back to the arena because I need to fix it. We have 33 people. 33. That's crazy. That's an outrageous number, even though many did not play. Many played only one game or two games. For example, if you want to see it, hold on there. Can I highlight these guys? You can barely see it on my screen because of the way the red is. We may need to go to background light. This is the ugliest background ever, but it is very practical to see all of the fonts on the screen. We can see that many of these players played at least one game, even though they're paused. It is important that you pause out before you leave the tournament. Wow, there's even a third page. This player did play a game. This player did not play a game. I may have to kick him out of the dojo. That was not cool. E1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna look you up. Wallace and Fortuna. Well, he's in Team Chessable. He's got a lot of teams. He seems to be an established account. He did not give Lampy a good game, unfortunately. Well, I closed it too far. Sorry about that. So if you wish to change the background on your Lead Chess account, all you really need to do is go to background, choose transparent, and under this web address right here, where you can see that I'm selecting all, under the background image URL, you can choose any image on the web that you would like to be your background image. Here I happen to have the sunrise on Kamiso Island, Japan. And because the stream is in the mornings and it takes place in a dojo, which is commonly the way to do it, then we just do that, right? So we choose this, and then we can exit, and we have our background image. And of course, you may choose to have a background image that has nothing on it. Let's just say if you needed to read the teams listing, and there are a few things you do have to watch out for on the teams listings. One is that you could accidentally leave your team. Another one that is very important is subscribing to team messages. Now, if you do wish to play every day, and if you're making it part of your bucket list to play every single day, then you should be subscribing to the team messages. I promise I will not send more than one actual team message per day in any one account. Now, if you're subscribed to more than one account, you might get on the weekends and as a Zatonskih's message one direction, and you'll get as a Zatonskih's message in the other direction. But the rest of the week, you're not going to receive any messages from Master Chess Dojo, Rapid, and Classical. So Master Chess Dojo, Monday through Friday, absolutely only one message a day. Master Chess Dojo, Rapid, and Classical on the weekends, you will get one for the Master Chess Dojo because there are 2,500 subscribers in that one. So you can choose either of these. And again, you can choose your background, whether you want it to be a dark board, dark, light, dark board. The dark board is just a dark board as opposed to, this is like blue light protection, I believe. Or you can choose any image on the web that you would like by Control A, selecting this whole thing. You can't use your mouse to select it, unfortunately. You may be able to double click on it, but you can paste in any web address. I'm going to copy this one for you so you can see it if you like the image that I'm using. Now, for the chessboard, let's just make sure that our game has not yet started here. We have one game still going. And I need to put the tournament back. Or should I leave it on 13 rounds? Because we have never ever made it to 13 rounds. Emil Tiger 2019. Good for you. I've not seen Sumaher in some time. I'm happy he's back. Or she. They. Let's refer to them as they from now on, yeah? Now, am I posting it in the Twitch chat when I post it that way? I did not, did I? Basically, this is the background that I prefer to use, the Kamiso Island JPEG for the dojo. This is the ideal dojo background. Now, interestingly enough, if you wish to have the transparent board as well, right? If you wish to have the transparent board, I use an app called Lichess Enhancement. And Lichess Enhancement often gives me the opportunity to make a translucent board, which I kind of prefer this translucent board. And that extension can be found if you have a lovely enough background that you want to see it all the time. You can definitely do that.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way
Ready.
from this.
So heading back, I'm going to play one game with the translucent board. This is Lichess Enhancement extension, Google Chrome. You can have your Neo Chess pieces. I said I was going to be playing E4 today. So far, I've done pretty well. Let's move it back. After this move, it's white is playing for 3 results, black is playing for 2. I was going to say that if he played the Petrov. Do we get to play our favorite line? The unicorn variation. I don't know. This is the recommended dojo variation. The unicorn variation first appeared for me in the book by edited by Fred Saberhagen. It is a science fiction novel. Interestingly enough, it is a very cool science fiction novel featuring the immortal game, unsound variations, To Move and Win. Roger Zelazny, who wrote many of the Twilight Zone episodes, wrote the unicorn variation. A Game of Midnight by the Morphe Watch. Lovely book, Pawn to Infinity, out of print, but a great read, great science fiction chess read. And this is, of course, the unicorn variation, as named by Roger Zelazny. We're just going to keep on expanding in the center. I keep expanding in the center. After all, the Berlin is just a staid, steadfast drawing variation for black, right? I think I have to keep the pressure up, unfortunately. Just have to keep the pressure up. Can we keep him from developing the rest of the way? So this variation, the Berlin defense, extremely solid for black, very difficult to win against, as you can see. I am being very facetious, I admit it. I'm being extremely, extremely facetious, darling. Okay. So the first effort has been made. Am I winning a rook? I don't know. This is one of those tactics, right? This could be one of the most brutal Berlin defenses ever played. I have to admit. Black's pieces are screaming activity. Screaming it, I tell you. The queen, choice of squares. The rook's choice of squares. I don't think that's the best square for my pawn, by the way, because now it's created a weakness, but I want to try to undermine his knight. Just a wee bit. Can I do that? Or should I continue? I don't know. Does he really want to trade pieces? I don't think so. This is an interesting bit for activity. Had not considered it. Had not considered that bid for activity by capturing the pawn. Archipelago, Archipelago. I know you are a good player. Do not let this particular example upset you. I will not make a YouTube video out of this one. Yet. I don't know. This is definitely an example of how not to play the Berlin. Reindeer 2007. Talpacino, please make sure you drop out. But at least we are streaming. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Do I need to be on the open file? I don't know. Let's just see if we can offer an exchange. Basically, if I can play bishop to d8 and bishop to c7, this should force commiseration. Interesting. So I'm going to follow through with my plan as I discussed. Bishop to d8, bishop to c7. Basically, I have a queen, knight, and rook against a queen, rook, and pawn. Do I have to worry?
Check.
I think that was a touch move. I don't think he actually meant to go there. I don't think he actually meant to go there. I'm going to follow through on my plan as though he made queen f5. Well, that's a bummer. I do have to trade queens. And of course, the standard pre-move can be undone by touching anywhere on the screen. Apparently, I cannot undo my touch moves on the other server. I don't know how to undo the touch move or the pre-move on the other server, so I end up making 20 pre-moves in a row with my pieces moving back and forth all the time. I really don't know how to play on that interface. Zuck's fault? Can he set up a stalemate?
Check.
It's very close.
Check. Check. Victory.
I'm so sorry, Archipelago. You are a better player than that, but try not to play those openings that don't let you spread your wings. I would recommend the Archangels variation. The Informator came out with a really great volume on this book. Where is it? 152. If you look at the C78 for black, I highly recommend that as activity for you. Ah, I need to... How about 152? I don't know that I can get any of my links over to, or even if I'm allowed to get them over to, because they are my sponsors. The rot when having a bad tournament. How does one stop the rot when having a bad tournament? I need the timestamps over there to know how long ago you actually said that, Robert. Robert Assel. I mean, honestly, there's a couple of ways you can do it. The first way that most people choose is to quit playing chess, which is not really an option. Even taking a break for a short period of time may or may not do it, but I would certainly do a steady diet of Puzzle Streak really, just to enjoy looking at the position, not rushing. Try to pretend never to move. Take 4 days to finish the Puzzle Streak if you have to. Honestly. Alright, I'm closing up the tournament here. Take 4 days to do it. If you open up the same browser every time, then it will remember where you are. So for example, Puzzle Streak. I'm at 46. You know, and I can try to solve this puzzle. If I don't get the answer here, I can leave, go back to our teams, check out this, that, and the other thing, and I can do a steady diet of just a few puzzles and Puzzle Streak a day. Do not make a mistake. Just build up that confidence from the beginning stages where you get the feel good of being able to play, or at least combine your pieces. That's one thing I think about Puzzle Rush Survivor as well, survival. The only drawback there is that instead of giving you easy tactical problems of a variety of nature, Puzzle Rush Survivor on the other server, basically they give you about 10 back rank mates in a row. I would swear that 7 out of 10 of the first beginner problems, what they term a beginner problem, is a back rank mate, where you play queen takes f2, king moves to h1, queen f1, your queen gets taken, and then rook takes f1. And then you just do that over and over again. And then you do it on f7, f8, f8. Then you do it on e7, e8, e8. But those aren't easy exercises of a variety nature. The Puzzle Streak in Elite Chess will give you a back rank sooner or later. But honestly, it's not that important. I also like, for the player that I just played, Archipelago, I also like playing through miniature games. Right now, the used book selection on Chess Informant, you know, the best sellers, just reading chess, by the way, is also nice. Match of the Century versus USSR versus the rest of the world, and then playing through the games. It keeps you in the game. Hold on here, I'm looking for the one that I was looking for the Berlin fellow. Yeah, the Berlin fellow. I would suggest that you get the first book. It's on sale, in fact, the Archangelsk variation. I want to copy that link address. I really enjoy this as black. The Archangelsk Ruy Lopez variation. I think it's a much better, more dynamic way to play and grow as a player than to play the Berlin. When you're playing the London or the Berlin, you're just not getting your feet into the game. Oh no, Tal Pacino did not withdraw from the tournament. AKA Quadrasvasky. No, I do believe in those methods. I don't believe in quitting chess or disconnecting yourself from chess in any way. For example, one person's way of doing it might be watching some Agate Mater videos, or putting bad comments on my videos when I post a video, or when my Rogan Joe Sloan video editor Rogan Joe Sloan posts up a snippet of coaching advice. Beware, like it's only a fraction of the whole conversation, but ironically, it was to him the most important part of the conversation, because the conversation started before that. I just want you to say that, you know what? If it causes people to think about coaching advice and being aware of coaching advice, then the more power to you. It did its point. If you were outraged by what I said in coaching advice, beware, then it did its job. Because now you're thinking about coaching advice and you're questioning coaching advice. Basically, the core of that is that you should not let a coach tell you what to do. A coach and a trainer should guide you in opening your eyes toward what will truly fulfill you and make you happy as a player. And through your passion, you will develop and grow as a player. That's worth clipping, by the way. If we could clip, that was worth clipping. But interestingly enough, all great teachers fuel your passion for something. All great coaches and trainers fuel your passion for excelling. They don't give you the moves to win and then yell at you if you don't remember your preparation. If you have a coach that is yelling at you because you didn't remember move 7, move 2, move 3 in a variation, then it's on them, actually, because we didn't do our job as a coach helping you to understand that particular variation. Basically, you should understand why you're playing the move. You're not supposed to memorize the first 7 moves, 12 moves, and then your opponent plays those moves. Grandmaster Joel Benjamin and I were sitting in Kansas City, and the mother of a student sat next to us who Joel had in chess camp. And at some moment, she mentioned that she asked us how her son was doing. And we're looking at it going, this is very normal opening. This is in fact the main line of yada, 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 right? And she goes, yeah, I know that part, but how do you think he's doing, you know, as a player, as developing, whatever? And then, so we got into this conversation. Then she goes, oh no, when he makes a move. And we're like, we're watching him on the stage. We're sitting in the little thing. We're whispering to ourselves. And we're like, what's wrong? And she goes, he just made a terrible move. He did not make the move that he was supposed to play in preparation. And Grandmaster Joel Benjamin, sitting next to me, goes, what do you mean? how do you know that he didn't play a move? And she goes, because we have flashcards and we quiz with flashcards over and over again, every variation, and he just reads off the variations and all that because he knows all the moves, but with the help of flashcards. And Joel looks at the position and I look at the position and we're like, this is just another variation of a maybe slightly better position that he has to choose from. And sure enough, though, she was correct. He immediately disintegrated on the stage, on the top boards of the Super Nationals in Kansas City that year. Basically because he did not remember his prep. He had nothing left in the gas tank and he just went down in flames. And Joel and I are just like, he's supposed to memorize these variations in order to win. To reach what position? At what point does he actually start playing chess? We couldn't quite wrap our heads around it. And he was a top player. He was about 2100. But he had no understanding of what was going on in that particular position. It was quite crazy. Those were the years when I had Mark Arnold on another grade on another board. I remember that was also the year that Mark Arnold met young Jeffrey Haskell. For those of you who don't remember Mr. Haskell, John Haskell was the person in the World Open and the IRL video setting up the DGT boards. That was his son that Mark Arnold met in Kansas City that year. It was also the year that I met the amazing young student, Ivan Dirks. Mr. Ivan teaches in a number of schools here in Manhattan, and he does a great job with the Anderson program. Mr. Ivan. I remember his mother asking me how he was doing in that tournament. I had left the room, basically. I'd come from the stage, I'd left the room. The parents weren't really allowed in the room if they weren't going to be sitting in the stage area watching the 4 or 5 or 6 grades playing on the stage. I don't remember how many boards. I think there were 6 boards on the stage, and there was a row of seating for them. And that was usually where Mark Arnold was playing, but he didn't do well that year. He actually lost and ended up, I think he might have, I don't know if he lost to Jeffrey Haskell. That was a good question. I have to look at that one. But in any event, yeah, Mark Arnold, who later became a grandmaster. I'll put the wiki up just in case this is actually happening. Because I don't know if you can see the chat in Twitch, or even if I'm even streaming on Twitch. I have no idea if I'm even streaming on Twitch. I think that YouTube is the only one that is being picked up by Lee Chess. So I could be streaming on Twitch. It's just that YouTube can only choose one. I'm sorry, Lee Chess can only choose one streaming service to advertise. Let's check the Lee Twitch. It says nothing. It says I'm not streaming at all, which is very weird, right? I have to log into Lee Chess. I'm sorry, I have to log into Streamlabs. Here are some alerts. Let me check my notifications. Oh, today, of all days, are the donations to abortion funds or abortion awareness. Absolutely today, and it is also TwitchCon. TwitchCon. All right. Is that the problem? I also changed my default login browser. Ah. I need to make Chrome my default login browser. That's what I really need. That may be why Twitch is not streaming. I'll be right back, everybody. Hold on, let me just take a quick look at this. Find a setting. Default apps. And then we have Chrome for some of the default apps as well. So PDFs, I do want Adobe. HTML. WebP? I don't know about that. I'm taking the Brave browser out of commission for the moment. SHTML. Shit HTML. That one always cracks me up. SHTML is not a good browser. SVG. You know what? I'm making everything Google Chrome until otherwise. Everything is Google Chrome at the moment. Now when I go to the Streamlabs charity, click to open your notifications window. YouTube memberships gifts now supported. Gifting alerts and highlight your viewers with the memberships they're gifting. Yeah, I'll download Streamlabs desktop. As though I've never downloaded Streamlabs desktop before. Creator self-care. Very important, by the way. I've noticed that there is a trend across the board for issues with mental health. I was watching some YouTube videos. I worry about streamers drinking. I worry about streamers not necessarily looking out for themselves. Anxiety is a serious problem. For those of you who don't realize it, streaming like this is a lot like being stuck in a space capsule orbiting Mars, and the only communication you have with everyone is through a little chat box for the most part, where you get your feedback loop. Alright, so knight c6 is not normally played in the panel. Let's sit back and see if we can figure this out. I imagine that it should transpose, but can I get him? Is there anything at all wrong with c takes d5? We're in a Chigorin's defense of sorts? Do we really want to go with this? Alright, I'm willing to bite. I am absolutely willing to bite. This looks like a c3 Sicilian gone wrong. Yeah, this is a c3 Sicilian gone wrong.
Check. Check.
So where are we headed from here? So is he threatening this, really? Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. I guess he might be actually threatening it. Therefore, let's just support it. Can we get a better endgame out of this by playing c5, b5? Or do I want to play it forward? Can I go that way? That is kind of a bummer. That is very much a bummer.
Check.
Well, isn't that interesting? Can I win this with all the pieces on the same side of the board? That is the question. I don't think so. But my opponent has played well to earn the draw.
Check.
He has. Well, maybe not. Maybe my opponent has not played well to earn the draw.
Check. Check. Check.
I just make this complicated?
check, 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 check,
I did not make it complicated.
Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place.
I just got to a position that I knew by heart, that's all. How did I win that game? That was tragic.
victory,
I was very lucky in that game, everyone. Very, very lucky. We need the subs. The thing I do love when the opponent doesn't show up and you have to wait 5 minutes until the clock runs out, that is true. Coffee indeed, Sir Ron. Coffee indeed. I'm gonna have my Celsius as well. Not entirely sure that the powder metabolism booster works as well as the canned Celsius Tropical Vibe Sparkling Starfruit Pineapple Edition.
ready,
This is the Tropical Vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to 9 rounds. I cannot believe that we have made it to 9 rounds. Alright, Skywo. Thanks to the help of my opponents, we have managed to play 5 different openings. Five different games. I think we've had black 5 times. Yeah, it's the 9th round. I think we've had black 5 times. We made it to play 5 different openings, which is really, really cool and important all at the same time. So how does he defend that? Can he defend that pawn? Do I have to give up my bishop? Is this real? Alright, fine. I guess I'm just going to keep attacking it. Because that's what we do. Going to keep attacking his central pawn until he says uncle. When he says uncle, we're going to be good. Standard Grunfeld response. Not really. But you thought the Grunfeld was bad? My god, look at those dark squares. Everybody. OMG. I don't even know where to begin. I just want to dive in. I just want to rub my chess pieces all over those dark squares and just enjoy. Right? Like, does it get any better than this? So now we have a little bit of a problem. How to deal with that one? Do we attempt to sacrifice a pawn on d5? He takes with check. King h8. Bishop takes b7. Bishop takes b2. Or do we just barnacle and know that we're going to be moving our queenside pawn majority at some point? That's what I think. We have 3-2 on the queen side. Very important pawn majority concept. We're going to outpost our bishop. I'm going to fix his pawns. We're going to take his stuff. We're going to munch his pawns. I know it all sounds wrong. King g5 and mate 2, exactly. I wonder if that was in the other game, Ron. That's true. I had the more extravagant queen mate. That was my original plan, Ron, but then I decided I didn't want to calculate. Obviously, I played queen a7 check, king to z8, and I should have just ran up with my king and let him queen and then checkmate him on f2. All right, so my opponent has chosen uh-oh, did I lose? Did I lose? I think I could have lost this one. You cats. What did I do to myself? So should we let him put his pawn on b5 first? Did I just hang this thing? Ah, it's a bummer. So let's say I play b5, knight takes b5, rook takes b5. Oh, then he plays queen takes knight first. Let's do this. Let's do that first. Yes. I'm still trying. I really am. Make sure that it's 2 pieces for a rook. I am. I'm still trying to make sure that it's 2 pizzas for a rook. So it's still 2 pieces for a rook, right? We're hanging in here as best we can. 2 bishops for a rook. Very sad. Very sad, sad situation. My king is being shredded by the movement of my f-pawn. I deserve everything that's about to happen to me, everyone. It's my fault for not playing king g5, g4, g3 mate. And just winning the game the old-fashioned way. Can I allow him in? I don't know. I need to do something here. I need to pretend like things are okay. But how do we do that? Bishop takes check. Ay, ay, ay. I've got nothing, folks.
check,
I've got nothing. I've got a whole lot of nothing. Where are you headed from here? Desperate. Oh my god. How bad can it get?
check,
How bad can it get? Bishop to e4, rook to f7, check.
check,
Oh no, you're gonna do that to me?
check, check,
Yeah. Good work, sir. Shredded. I was shredded. See what's going on the student front, just to make sure that I haven't completely lost touch with them. Keep forgetting that some. Oops.
I'm all the sins that you can't confess. I'm just your ghost if we're not undressed. A part of me wish that we never met, but you act like we never got too wasted in the bathroom of your parents' house. Then you kissed me in the back
Oh man.
taxi ride, and we said things that were cheesy, but we meant them. There were feelings, and now you deny it. You're in love with the idea of me, but you're not in my reality. Find it hard to even picture it, 'cause my reality ain't your reality, no. I'm all the sins that you can't confess. I'm just your ghost if
Alright, what are we gonna do here? I hope Archipelago didn't quit after I beat him. Good. He made one more effort against, he made one more effort against Saul.
You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only
Cheers, everyone.
one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with this life, like kryptonite.
Alright, let's watch the last game between Ron Hay as he seals the deal on this tournament. I remember when Ron was not quite as strong, or let's just put it this way, she was always strong. When he was not quite as highly rated, but he has been ironing out his game very diligently and determinedly over a long period of time. Mate in 1 has been averted by the queen on e5, but
check,
ooh, ouch, 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 ouch. That was not the white square that you wanted to loosen up. Are we streaming yet on Twitch? A YouTube editor is at it again. I'm actually going to try to do, I'm going to dabble with it myself. I do need a videographer to do the opening intro and whatnot, which I want to do. I'm going to enlist my oldest daughter. She's a little bit more amenable to these things. I didn't follow Sakharenko? What's up with that? So Sakharenko is a young Russian strong player who probably should not be coaching because she is a rising star in her own right. Adriana came into the stream yesterday and was offering coaching and training. Congratulations, Ron. Sorry, I didn't get back to this one because I was busy in another window. Upon seeing that mate. No Twitch yet, no.